Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, I've been chain smoking my way through the rape gang inquiry. I was about to say grooming gang, and I was like, fuck that. Like nobody else is caring about the swear words. Even Baraka is tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. Um, J.K. Rowling was the first. She led the charge and she said, fuck it, we ain't calling them grooming gangs. The fuck is grooming? I speak the English language. I'm an author. Call it what it is, rape gang. And it's bad. It's so bad that like it took me about about like roughly an hour and a half plus to get through that 30-40 minute video, and I was just like one. I saw one from Baraka Mori. I saw one from Asmongold. I saw one briefly from Rupert Lowe. Even though I saw what he said before, I just watched his specific video, and then I watched one from Jake Monroe. Just other YouTubers. I forget their names at the moment. It's just a fucking mess. So let's discuss why this is so bad. The number. Now, I would have speculated it was something like under 100,000. I speculated something like that. Like if we were gonna get like into like a large ass number, I couldn't have been more wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. We are talking about 250,000 girls, young girls, being sexually assaulted, raped, gang raped. Like it's all there. Here's the thing, right? Um, I thought I knew some of the worst uh, grooming gang stories out there. I can't even tell you how bad they are because it's not like I give a shit about the censorship or anything, but it's just like repeating it is like gnawing at my sanity. Like I'm actually at a loss on how to tell people to control their anger because I'm having a hard time doing it myself. Like, ladies and gentlemen, if you have access to any asthma medication, like, just take a long, deep breath and accept that, like, okay, let's look at like what's happening like now recently. The violence has escalated, but it's almost unreasonable. Like for all like the bad things that the local population is doing, like burning down houses, attacking people, like the illegal immigrants and the local population are doing way worse. And it's funny because I gotta bring up the traffic parking ticket cops again. Um, so there's like reports of them, like, they're still on the job, they're still working, and then like, they got more complaints, and apparently they fired the whole crew, I guess. I don't know. Like, but I'm bringing this up because I was right. I was right on the money. Like, why it happened to Henry Nowak, why it happens to like, some random white dude pulling out a phone, like filming this guy. I'm assuming he's white though. Um, it's because these guys are fucking ugly, like fugly, dude. This guy's got his hat on, and then he has his hoodie on, right? And then like, think about it. Is it really that cold outside? Like, am I being naive or something, or is it like, is it supposed to be like springtime, almost summer, in the UK? Or I don't know, maybe like they're kind of behind month wise. They gotta like wait a couple months, or I don't know. It just seems to me that like he was hiding something, and then he was. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the true culprit of this guy's anger and his anguish is this fucking receding ass hairline and shit. Like, why are you putting forward this tough guy persona? You're fucking balding. You're a traffic ticket cop. You're Middle Eastern or Pakistani or whatever, most likely inbred or retarded. And like, if and, like people have already saw this video. Like, dude, you need an arranged marriage. Like, the only way I see a girl fucking with you is if like she herself is retarded. So It's a lose-lose situation for you. Like, you get arranged marriage, you wind up with a retard, or you meet someone who's also a retard. And, like, why they get so fucking angry about, like, all the shit coming out about this grooming gangs and shit. And, yeah, I was right about the whole, like large group of, like, white liberal ass, like, I don't even want to call him liberal. I call him like fucking inhuman, like scum. Like, you have this person who's supposed to be working on the grooming gang inquiry, so that's probably why like this shit hasn't come out yet. Donna Rachel, and she literally makes this video post trying to like nitpick at some like detail in the grooming gang inquiry and shit. She says something like along the lines of, "Oh no, you can't be right about this. It's referring to like telephone lines, not district lines." And she's like giggling and laughing, and it's like, how could you be so like lighthearted and whimsical after like such a like huge disclosure, right? Like we kind of knew, but we didn't know how bad it was. And it can come out later that some of these stories are untrue, but I'm most likely going to believe that they're true because it's like there's no evidence that proves otherwise. You know what I mean? Like there's no evidence that says that, these people, they're nice people, like they're being misjudged. Like you should like, check your privilege and shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you are getting angry. I know a lot of you want to do something about this. And at a moment of this critical mass, as they say, we can do something as men. As men, we make a proclamation. We say, look, we go to war openly. The old heads, old money, retards, illegal immigrants, child rapists, pedophiles, subhumans, beta males, fucking, and the list goes on. We just go to war and we say, look, women need us, they desire us, we should be what they achieve. And to achieve is to, like, reach for something and to grasp at it. This ideal of something that they could never be a true man, a real man. And by doing that, you have to embrace the pain, the suffering of like this exercise, this actual true strength, and not the one that like the subhumans use with like steroids and substances that will close them off, prevent them from having children. Because that's ultimately what we need to be doing. We should find a woman, have a relationship with her, talk to her, ask her if it's okay to have a woman after she has like two or whatever, how many kids she wants, to have additional kids, right? As an extension to the family. Now, normally this would sound psychotic and a little, robust, if you will. I don't think anybody's gonna be saying that anymore, especially now that there's such a laxity. Like, how do you have a quarter million girls getting assaulted, sexually assaulted, more likely more than once. So like we're talking like if we're just talking about the amount of offenses, we're talking about multiple millions of offenses have occurred for these women, right? Now, we're not talking about just the people who perpetrated these crimes. These people had families, these people had neighbors, these people had help in the government, with the religion, with like people who are illegal immigrants, etc., etc. So when we make this warlike proclamation against them and their bloodlines and their religions and their cultish ways, their ways of raping women, we do so with the ideal of replacement, which we say, okay, look, it's unhealthy for women to have a lot of kids, right? So we can just ask, and we have to ask because it's like, we're not our enemy. We don't force things, and it could stress out her family and whatever, right? Like if you're gonna have kids with one woman and she just says, okay, let's just work things out, like I guess you got to do it. But in this day and age, I think like guys, especially guys who are a little bit more attractive than most other guys, like they have qualities that women find, you know, desirable, to get out there and to spread their seed. And as bad as it sounds at first, and it does sound bad, trust me, it does. It makes a lot of sense long term. I was driving home, right? And I live in a Punjabi area and they always like to harass me. Like this is gonna be a like forever thing with them because they're probably permanently pissed off at me because they can't rape white women anymore and like cover it up and have their friends cover it up and the government cover it up, and it's like, oh, you can't say this about these people, that's racist type shit. It's not gonna work anymore. White people are already insulated to it. They know that the first thing that they're going to do when confronted with any form of conflict is face criticism. Like, I think me and white people in that regard finally have an understanding. You know what I mean? You have a bunch of people who constantly stalk out, harass you, hide behind your police and impunity, whatever, legal impunity, and are smirk and smug about it. And now I know how the Israelis felt after October 7th. I know how, um, America felt with all these people saying, well, specifically Hassan saying, among others, they deserve 9/11 or fuck the soldiers, fuck their PTSD. Or now I know how, the people in the UK are feeling after they're, you know, getting like attacked and then like the cops don't back them up and stuff. And it's something we all share together. It's like this feeling that we're up against a bunch of losers who banded together and they have an unreasonable amount of control and sway in the government. And that's why when we make this proclamation, like, this is something that they can't control. Like, there's no governmental control that will prevent them from making girls to stop liking you. And like, no shade at Incel TV, right? But there are a lot of incels on their side. Like, it's almost an unreasonable amount, actually. Like, that's probably why they're so militarized, is that they have like an almost like sustainable amount of men in their faith religion, both Sikhism and Islam, which is basically the same. I actually looked it up. They share like a heredity. There's this one Abu guy who's like their shared ancestor. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I knew it. Fucking Muslims. But like, it's kind of telling how that level of inbreeding and like disparity between the local population has pushed them over the edge and has created this world where they're forced now to basically leave the UK because this is going to be one of those things that is known as generational shame, right? So they're going to face it now with these grooming inquiries and like, at of the like, right? Especially the Sikhs because they were like running this fucking defense game where they're like playing innocent the entire time. And like Henry Nowak was just one of the drop of the bucket of incidents of like overly zealous and overly like, favorable treatment specifically towards the Sikhs, specifically towards them. And now when you're finding out why that is, oh, rape this, sexual assault that, probably part of like the police force in the UK too. Yeah, the list goes on, right? And the craziest part about how this has affected white people, beyond the whole anger and like frustration in this whole realization, is that they're all starting to say the same thing. we're better off without you. We don't need you here, right? Now, I don't speak for them, and most likely there's going to be some in that crowd of people who are saying that to me because it's like they don't see that difference between, well, even though there is, it's just like, they just don't like me. And yeah, that's fair because I think people have been pushed way too far to be allowed or be expecting of mercy. So when it comes to this instance, right, this is going to go down in history as possibly the greatest, and I do mean greatest, injustice ever done to the human race. Because again, we just read the reports. It's so fucking bad. In fact, I'll tell you something. If I tried to make the most, and I'm being honest with you, the most graphical, most disgusting, from like pulling from all the knowledge of movies that I've watched and like whatever, right? Like things that I just think about, like messed up instances and stuff, right? From all like the darkest reaches of my imagination. I could not begin to describe the contrast between what I would dream up and what's there in paper, what's there in writing. It is that bad. That bad. It's so bad. I think it's like napalm. Like you touch it and it burns you and it doesn't come off. Like this Donna Rachel is such a fucking idiot making that fucking tweet post whatever and giggling and laughing. Dude, if I was white, if I was in the UK, I would seriously consider paying her a visit and having a nice long conversation. Nice and long. Emphasis on the very long part, like super long, like almost to the point where she's bored to death. But besides that point, I was thinking about like how I would like come across like phrasing and solving this problem and like how to like alleviate it beyond the whole like genetic replacement with like women and stuff who are willing to aid you in your cause to like save humanity basically. And I realized there is one other thing that we all can do, and it's hard. It's hard for me. Trust me, I've been doing it for years. You have to understand that there's something out there that you can do, right? And they can do it too. Like don't pretend like this is some sort of superpower or special power that you have, but it's like this creative edge inside of you, and I don't have a way of proving that you have it or or that I have it even or that I even know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is like tap that inner creativity, that inner capability that you have not touched. Like those deep dreams of like what you wanted to do or what you want to be in life that were cut short for whatever reason. And I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but like having artificial intelligence and all these other tools at your disposal to like aid in any form of creation and like even as far as the manufacturing stage is just it's almost baffling how like despite all the bad things in the world like people like to overlook all those advancements, right? I'm not saying that like they do. I just feel as if we tend to complain more about the bad things, and I'm not trying to say like this isn't something worth like looking into. I'm just saying that like over focusing on it, like focusing just on it, right? I'm not saying forget about it, obviously, but like getting to honestly, dude. After this video, I'm probably gonna like grab a smoke and shit. It's been a fucking rough ass day for me. Um, because it's like I just want you all to be successful. I want you to make money. I want you to feed your families. Because this is all a fucking pipe dream unless you have capital. People will tell you, oh, hustle hard, this, that. I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you, dude. It's hard out there. It's fucking hard out there. And the best thing you could do is just be creative, um, make music, sell video games. I mean, something that's profitable, right? I mean, I would tell you to make movies and cartoons, but then you got overhead. I mean, music and video games are probably like the two easiest avenues that you could just jump into, and you don't really have to invest. Like it has nothing to do with your personal appearance. You don't have to worry about your personal fitness or anything like that. And it's just just cut your teeth on it. It's funny how I actually bring up the music aspect. I have to start looking into it. Not like I'm musically I have any musical aptitude or anything. I just have to ask people and like listen to music and like start cutting it up and start adding it in because it's just you can't have one without the other type of shit, right? Like you just can't have all this concern over a life that is barren and has nothing going for you or whatever. Alright, try to take care of yourselves.